Welcome back to the show. I'm Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg. So I'm Jenny McCarthy Show. I'm so excited, you guys. Ann Dowd is coming on right now from The Handmaid's Tale. If you guys haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale, you have to see it. The show is so addictive and dark and scary because it's going from fiction. From fiction to nonfiction. Ann Dowd, welcome to my show.
Thank you, honey. How are you?
I'm so excited. I don't get that excited about people anymore.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to see you.
I was screaming when I saw your name on the schedule. I was like, yes! Season 3 starts streaming Wednesday on Hulu, and the countdown is on for me. So blessed be the fruit.
Oh, blessed be indeed.
So the last time we saw Aunt Lydia, you had an issue with Emily. Like, I was like, oh my God.
What was she thinking?
What's going on? And before I get into like where that's going to snowball, as much as you can tell me, I'm amazed that what you've been able to do with this character.
Well, thank you. Very, very generous of you to say. Thank you.
And I want to ask you that because I went to all-girl Catholic school my whole life, so I was always kind of terrified of, female authority. And it kind of brought me back to those days where I just hated your character. And then all of a sudden, you showed signs of like empathy. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm starting to like Aunt Lydia. And there's these you've been able to take the viewer on this amazing ride of emotions of actually liking someone that's doing horrible things. Where do you go in your head to play this character? How do you prepare for a character like this?
Well, of course, it starts with the writing, doesn't it? The writers put it right there on the page, and you think, thank you very much for that, where it always begins. But as you said, as you mentioned, I was educated by Catholic sisters also. Never cruel, and never nearly to the extent of Lydia. And I have 2 aunts who are Catholic sisters. So I was very in that world for many, many years. And it's a compassionate world and an intelligent world as well. So, and I also knew that there's no point in judging Lydia if you're going to play her. Just forget that one. Because she'll shut her doors and she'll say, that's very nice of you, but no, I'm not going to let you know who I am. So I didn't begin with thinking that's evil. I came to realize that she honestly believes that these actions are necessary to save these girls' lives, who prior to being in Gilead were all about promiscuity, no relationship to God, pollution, birth rate down. They were headed right to hell. And so the way she trains them, and even if it's difficult, which means even if I need to get that eye out, saying, I'm not going to curse, I don't know what the rules are.
You can't curse here.
Well, you can? Oh, well,
yes.
Good. Well, we're thinking of that first, the pilot, when poor, sweet Janine says, what the fuck? And Lydia takes it once and comes over and says, and how are you? What the fuck? 2 times. Mistake. So out that poor girl goes, and then I meet her and get the eye out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
She feels that girl was so far off the track, a harlot and a whore on the way. We've got to take extreme measures here. And then it'll get her back to a place where she can understand, you want a good life, honey? You want a life of meaning? Listen to what I'm telling you. This is the way. Don't want to? I goes.
And staying in that same theme of religion, in the show, you can see the churches are destroyed. So, but there is much talk of God.
Yes.
So, is it not a certain religion? Is it?
It is certainly a very conservative one. I forget what we call it. God, that's horrible. I was going to say, Book of Jacob. God, don't repeat that. I have no idea.
No, that's okay.
It's terrible. But it is. They don't. Of course, Jews are out. Forget that. Oh. And many. It just sticks strictly to the Bible, and the Bible they want to pay attention to. I think in every religion where it goes straight off the rails is when you take out your personal ability to decide for yourself what is the right thing to do. Instead of saying, in God's name, y'all are going to be killed. In God's name, I reject you, LGBTQ community. In God's name, I'm going to enforce abortion laws which will hurt not only women and get away, but the poor and the disenfranchised. Taking out personal responsibility to make decisions day to day.
And you did bring that up, and I know that you talked about it before on the media on how people are using that kind of character to represent their fight. Whether that's the abortion laws, whether that's, I've seen a number of things of people protesting dressed in the habits of, the Handmaid's Tales. So why do you think people are connecting it with it? And are you surprised that they're using these characters for both sides of the aisle?
Well, I'll tell you honestly, I didn't realize it was both sides of the aisle. It brings goosebumps when I see women dressed as handmaids to protest what is going on in our government. I honestly didn't realize they were using the other side of it. I mean, that's terrifying. When I read, I got the paper in the morning and looked at what's going on in Alabama, and for a minute there I thought, this isn't real. It can't be real. That in this day and age, this is going on. I didn't answer your question. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's okay.
I think I lost track of it.
That's okay, but you would think that people by watching this show would have learned something, even though it's fiction.
Yeah.
You learn from tales. The Bible's fiction. You learn from it. You would think by watching it that we would maybe learn something. Instead, we are getting closer and closer to the show's storylines.
Someone asked, when we first began, it was a sort of cautionary tale. How much closer? We're so much closer today than we were when we began the show to it becoming a reality. It's just shocking.
And even in the aspect of, birth rates, men losing their sperm count, females not being able to have children. I mean, we've declined, I think they said by 50% since 1970.
Isn't it? That's just, that figure just blew my mind.
I was like, 50% since 1970? How are we declining being able to have that children? I'm like, that is a reality straight out of the show.
Well,
that scares me.
And I wonder what the answer is. I don't mean to speak for science. I'm not qualified. But the amount of pollution, the amount of
correct
deciding we can do this, that, and the other without consequence.
That's exactly right.
Come on now. What we're eating, that is, I lost you, sweetheart.
No, that's okay.
No, I didn't lose you.
The chemical revolution is exactly what happened.
And that we think that we can just do as we please, and there are it's, wow.
I know, right? It can really, the show can make you sit there and go like, whoa. That's why I invite everybody to watch. I'm going to plug it again. The Handmaid's Tale. Season 3 starts streaming Wednesday on Hulu. There was a little thing from the book I wanted to read to you.
Good.
In the case of Gilead, there were many women willing to serve as aunts, either because of a genuine belief in what they call traditional values or for the benefits they might thereby acquire. When power is scarce, a little of it is tempting. So did you, as Aunt Lydia, are most of these aunts doing it out of power or out of survival?
I think it's more the latter. I mean, I may be not looking at this in the proper light, but I don't think Lydia is into power. I do not. I think she accepts responsibility and is duty-bound.
Yeah.
I don't think her actions are reactive. They are thought through. She has her prayers many an hour in the morning, asking God to guide her through the day. I think some of the aunts and some of these wonderful actresses that play them, they're fabulous. Right. Some of them they're bored to death. Come on now. Am I going to really stand here and make sure the girls are standing properly? This is boring. But it is about survival, and it is about not having to go live in the colonies, and we get to sit in our nice dorm. It's not fancy. It's not the commander and wives situation, which I think Lydia, if she could, would say, excuse me, this is not what we signed up for in the church basement before Gilead took over. Just so you remember, we were going to live as God suggested, in moderation, making sure all the poor are fed and clothed. This is not about opulence and there's ridiculous baby showers with animals that belong in a zoo. Stop your nonsense. She doesn't say it, but I know she didn't sign up for that. But if you're not an aunt, you're not a Martha, you're not an econo wife, you've got to, I mean, they can find Gilead so many reasons why, whoops, okay, colonies or hang. What do you think? You know, it's a very scary world.
It is. And I noticed, of course, I binge watched season 2 before talking to you today.
Oh, darling.
And, you can slowly start to see the females joining together, which I love. You know, the brilliant. Revolution has begun.
Oh, my. Wait till season 3. Just hang on. Just hang on. It's extraordinary.
And I know that you have a major power position this season after doing some homework. I mean, I know you can't give anything away, but can we expect to see Aunt Lydia open up in different ways we haven't seen before?
Well, keep in mind, you know, that assault at the end of season 2 affected her, and it would affect anyone, deeply on so many levels. First of all, she's so badly hurt, and she gets up way too soon. She shouldn't be up on her feet with the cane. Come on now. No. Stay in bed. You're not well. But I think it threw her so much that she didn't see it coming. Emily has always been tricky. I never liked her because I can't get through to her. She doesn't answer me, which is the most annoying thing in the world. She's been to the colonies. For goodness sake, she had that operation. What's it going to take, girl? You're not getting the picture. Right. But I don't think she ever saw that coming. And here's sweet Alexis Bledel. Try to get her to shove you hard. Can't. She's too delicious and sweet. Right. It was a blast. Say, honey, shove me a little. Like that? No, Del, like shove me. It's okay. It was all safe, mind you. Anyway, to get back to the point, Lydia did not see that coming. So emotionally, she's entirely thrown. First of all, how do I get my position back that Gilead will trust me to be in charge of these girls? There's the judgment. They think, oh, she wasn't paying attention. The men, again, ruling always. Right. So she has to get that act together, and it's very difficult. Plus, she's scared. She's not familiar with fear. I mean, she is unconsciously probably controlled by it. But consciously, she knows her position. She's sure of it. She taught for many years before Gilead. I can get a group of girls together faster than anybody. I don't even need a cow prod. I can do it. But now that everything's up in the air. So that's interesting to see how she moves through that trauma and loses control of things on her way through.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, she just can't quite pull it off. But we get a backstory in episode 8, which, honest to God, Jen, it made me weep. It was so, I'm playing her, so of course it has to be. But the writers were so on the money, and we see reasons why she could have become the woman she becomes, and what she could have had, if only.
Oh, wow.
And so that's the thing. It was fabulous to get a way in to what might have happened there. I mean, I can dream it all I want, but it takes the writers to come up with it, and they did it so well.
Right. We can dream our own backstories. But
and I had all these thoughts, and then suddenly I read this, and I said, okay, thank you very much. I'm not a writer. I will stick to my job.
I mean, you're so good at it. I'm talking to Ann Dowd from the show The Handmaid's Tale. So when you guys are on set, has there ever been a particular scene where you're like, oh, my God, this is just so heavy?
Yeah, a lot of them. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because, I've been on plenty of sets where, we're joking around and we're laughing. Oh, yeah. But that show, I was watching going, I'm sure there's not many laughing attacks.
Oh, we have to have those, for sure.
Okay, good.
Because we can depart for a bit. If we have the time, and we're used to it now, we all are, aren't we? We know this setup is a long one. We're turning around, so that means we have a good 20, 30. Oh, yeah. Talking to those sweet old handmaids of mine, I adore them, every one of them. And we're often together, so they educate me about what the heck's going on for real in the world. I adore them, and so we have terrific conversations. Elisabeth, I don't know how she functions, Elisabeth Moss, because... I don't. Because she's not only in every scene, she's an executive producer.
And she's emoting in every scene. Like
I don't know where her powers come from. I honestly, and she's a lovely person on top of it. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen her come to work, not one time, in a low spirit, ever.
Wow, that says a lot.
And I mean, it's not because she got 8 hours of sleep, I can tell you that much. It's because she's got some strength in her. And she just, I don't know.
I admire the hell out of her, too.
Yeah.
What do people come up to you and say the most?
This is probably boring, but it cracks me up.
No, I love it.
You know how it is? I'm sure you've experienced it when people say, I know you. And then they say, why do I know you? And you know where the story's going, but you don't want to be rude and cut it off.
Right.
Where do you come from, Massachusetts? Where did you go to school? And I think, okay, how long is this going on? But anyway,
right.
I mean, then you kind of say, I think, do you watch Handmaid? Oh, is that right? But one time, a woman in the airport, we were on the escalator, mind you, and she said, I know you. It's very serious. I said, oh, where are you from? What? Where did you? Why do I know you? And it had a little intensity, and then it dawned on her, and she literally kind of ran off the escalator and darted.
No,
and I laughed out loud. Right? Once she realized it, she just said, "Oh," and gone she was, and it was so sweet. I won't say, "Doll, not going to hurt you."
No,
we're all going here on our suitcases. We're going. I mean, it was very, very funny.
That's actually very funny.
It was delicious. And
before I've gotten the chance to talk to you, I myself was like, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little scared.
That's so funny.
You play the role so well, and
thank you.
Look
Thank
at what
you.
a lovely human being you are.
God.
You could be further from her, but just shows you what a great actress you are.
That's very kind. And by nature, I don't wear makeup. I mean, I'd love to, but I don't have time. Who does? Someone has to do it for me. And I have a child who's 14, and we live in New York, and there's laundry to do and grocery shopping. So when people recognize me, usually the hair's, whatever it is not a shred of makeup. The glasses are on. I'm thinking, oh, God. But then I think, what are you worried about? It's not like you look like a stunner as Lydia. Let's get real on that one. I wouldn't mind an eyelash or two.
That's so funny. I'm in disguise when I wear no makeup outside. No one knows who the heck I am.
That's funny.
And Dowd, I wish I had so much more time with
darling.
you. So,
thank you.
Good luck with the show. I hope it goes on for at least 15 seasons.
Yeah, well, we'll all be, in a nursing home if that's the case. I don't know how much we can take.
Will you please? I mean, I know you're doing a huge media tour, but just tell everyone, send my love and tell them I'm a huge fan of the show.
I most certainly will do so.
If they need anyone to shovel in the toxic dumps as an extra, I will be glad to.
Honey, I'm going to speak about that. Okay. Yep, Jenny McCarthy, ready for the colonies. Excellent.
Ready for the colonies.
Excellent.
And Dowd, thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it.
Your amazing work. The Handmaid's Tale Season 3 starts streaming Wednesday on Hulu. You guys don't miss it. Come back anytime, please. You're the best.
Thank you so much.
I loved it.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!